Why don't you go straight to hell? Why don't you go straight to hell? Racist eyes, you're full of fakes.
¡Que viva la comunidad inmigrante! ¡Que vivan los jornaleros de North Hollywood! Inicia el programa.
Yeah, that was great. All right. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out under these unfortunate circumstances. My name is Justin Torres, and I'm a part of the Adopt a Corner network here in the San Fernando Valley. Bienvenidos a todos, gracias por venir debajo de estas circunstancias bien desafortunadas. Yo soy Justin Torres, soy parte del grupo que está patrocinando este Home Depot.
What time you guys finish?
So we're here today because at 9:45 this morning, we had 10 to 20 community members kidnapped from this Home Depot in North Hollywood. Estamos aquí hoy porque esta mañana había más de 20 personas de la comunidad que fueron secuestrados en este Home Depot de North Hollywood. Very close to 9:45, a part of our network in the Adopt a Corner network let us know what was happening, and we all came rushing here. When we got here, we spoke to the day laborers to hear what happened. They told us that customers were taken, that day laborers were taken, and in the midst of hearing all these anecdotes, there was one more person taken right in front of us on the corner, a bicyclist. Alguien en las 9:45 de la mañana vio otra persona enfrente de nosotros. So the Adopt a Corner network in the San Fernando Valley, we are at this Home Depot, North Hollywood. We're also at San Fernando. We're also at Van Nuys. We're also at Panorama City and Laurel Canyon and Osborne. What we do is we acknowledge that right now our community is under siege by pretty much modern day Gestapo, and we stay in those corners for as long as we can to be in solidarity with our community that's under attack. Nuestra red aquí en el Valle de San Fernando, aquí buscamos estamos en varios Home Depots, Panorama City, Van Nuys, San Fernando, North Hollywood, en Laurel Canyon y Oswood. Y la razón que estamos aquí porque nosotros entendemos que nuestra comunidad está debajo de ataque por un Gestapo moderno. Entonces queremos estar aquí con la comunidad para apoyarlos. So today we called this vigil for this very sad event, and additionally to invite other individuals in our community to stand up for our community, to join the Adopt a Corner network and other various actions that are happening all throughout LA, but specifically in the San Fernando Valley in regards to this one. Entonces, como dije, estamos aquí porque le quiero llamar a la comunidad que se une a la red de San Fernando Valley que está patrocinando los Home Depots para que esté con nosotros debajo de este ataque de la comunidad. The last thing I'll say before I pass it off is, the reason that we're in Adopt a Corner, and the reason is out of love and out of admiration for our community. We know that it's not about the money. We know that it's not about the law. We know that it's about racism. Because for centuries, our communities have been under attack for different reasons, under different guises, but it's always been because we're brown, because we're indigenous, and supposedly now because, we're immigrants, when we've been here for thousands of years.
Entonces lo último que quiero decir es que la red se fundó por mucho amor, porque nosotros reconocimos que no por el dinero, pero es por el racismo que nos están atacando, aunque sea por el color de nuestra piel o porque somos indígenas de la área. Siempre sabemos que es por esos sistemas, por cientos de años que nos han atacado.
Thank you. I'm going to pass it to my comrade Yvonne.
Gracias, lo voy a pasar a...
My bad. I'm going to pass it over to the senator now, Caroline Menjivar.
Buenas tardes, ¿cómo estamos? Me llamo Caroline Menjivar, soy su senadora estatal para el Distrito 20 de Canoga Park hasta Burbank. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm your State Senator Caroline Menjivar. This is my beautiful district from Burbank to Canoga Park, and they're attacking my district. They're attacking my constituents. Están atacando a las personas de mi distrito. Porque Chila puso un reporte hace como una semana y vieron que Panorama City, donde yo vivo, donde viven muchos centroamericanos, filipinos, fue el lugar número 1 atacado en el condado de Los Ángeles. Panorama City, after reports showed, was the #1 place that was attacked by immigration. 21 reported immigration rates. They're attacking my community because my community is 70% Latino. My community is made up of hard-working people, and the only thing that they have that people are coming after them is the color of their skin. Because what we have here, this beautiful, beautiful brown skin, scares them. Les da miedo when we come together. Les da miedo when we come like this because they think we're going to be silent. And I know a lot of people can't come out because they're scared, and that's okay. That's a real feeling. But for everyone else that is allowed to come out, I need you. People need you to come out and let them know that we're here for them. La comunidad nos necesita nosotros todos para ver que estamos en unidad, que estamos peleando y no nos vamos a quedar callados. Because hoy en la mañana you heard 10 to 20 people were taken here, but did you also hear in Arleta High School a 15-year-old kid on first day student orientation was detained by ICE for going to school? That's the crime? Because they want to better themselves? Because that was the whole point they came here, so their parents could give them a better life? That's their crime? To that, hell no. I want my constituents to thrive. They're in school. They're working, looking for jobs. These are not the lazy people. These are the hard-working people that are doctors, that are your state senators, hija de inmigrantes salvadoreños, orgullosamente de eso. And I'm here to let you know that we are fighting as hard as possible for you. Estamos peleando al tope para ustedes. Citas, reuniones, peleando las cortes. Yo sé que no ven mucho. I know you want more. I know it. And we're doing everything we can, but they're fighting outside of the lines. And I know Jesus taught us to turn the other cheek, but we're fed up. I'm sorry, Jesus. We are fed up right now, and I don't think we could turn the other cheek. This is why it's so important. You're going to be voting in November, this November, out of nowhere. We're going to be voting on something to help fight back Trump, to help with redistricting. And you might think, what's that have to do with immigration? Well, if we take back Washington, D.C., we'll have more power to stand up against this administration. So I need you, San Fernando Valley. 818, los necesito. I can't do it alone. They can't do it alone. We need to lock arms and say enough is enough. We can't sit back anymore. No more bystander effect. I need all of you. But I'm here en la lucha con ustedes. Y si quieren, y si alguien de su familia fue detenida, les quiero dar 2 números. Y después pueden venir a pedirme estos números. A mi oficina pueden llamar si están buscando por una persona que fue detenida. If your loved one was detained, please call our office. We can help you with that. We can help you connect to lawyers if you need. Have you not seen your family member at detainment centers? We will help you with that. 818-901-5588. 818-901-5588. Mi oficina en Van Nuys, llámenos. Si un jornalero fue detenido, if there was a day laborer that was detained and you need to find them specifically, you got to call the day laborer office hotline, 626-217-0842, 626-217-0842. Y como dijo la canción, chinga la migra.
Thank you, Caroline. You want it? Okay. Thank you, Caroline. So now my comrade Yvonne is going to come up. Thank you.
Hola, gente buena. Me llamo Yvonne. Hello, good people. My name is Yvonne. I have a question for y'all. Who loves this community? ¿A quién ama esta comunidad? That's right. Who wants to do something about protecting this community? ¿Quién quiere hacer algo para proteger esta comunidad? That's right. Okay, we need you, okay? We need your bodies, we need your time, and we need your resources, okay? So this Home Depot in particular, este Home Depot te necesitamos tu tiempo, necesitamos tus recursos, tu información, tus relaciones, okay? Este Home Depot en particular, no tenemos tanta coverage. We don't have that much coverage at this Home Depot, okay? So we've only been able to come out a couple of days. Nomás hemos podido estar aquí unos 2 días, pero necesitamos a gente para poder defender la comunidad. We need people to come and defend the community. Can you raise your hand if you're willing to help protect this community? That's right. So you see here my compañera Chelly, o si quiere hacer voluntario o donar su tiempo o dinero o lo que sea, un cafecito, un pancito, if you want to donate some coffee, some sweet bread for the jornaleros, for the people, come talk to raise your hand, Chelly, and there's a table over there, a white table over there. Please sign up, please give your name, your email, your number so that we can connect you, okay? O si puedes donar tu tiempo, un cafecito, un pancito, ve a hablar con mi compañera Chelly y esa mesa que está allí para poder conectarte con ese esfuerzo. ¿Sí se puede? ¿Se puede?
Sí, se puede.
¿Se puede? Sí se puede. Se puede. We can do this, y'all.
Buenas tardes a todos. Yo soy Juan Pablo, soy organizador con la Red Nacional de Jornaleros. Les quiero dar otro recuerdo que por favor, todavía estamos buscando a los jornaleros que fueron detenidos hoy. Gracias a los jornaleros que me ayudaron a investigar, no sé si están aquí, encontramos una camioneta de dos personas que fueron detenidos. Y con la ayuda de la investigación aquí de la comunidad podemos llevar esa camioneta al familiar de esa persona para que por lo menos no se lleve la propiedad. Pero eso solo se pudo hacer con la ayuda de la comunidad y ya vamos a poder darle a esas 2 personas que fueron detenidos apoyo legal. Pero les pido, necesitamos ayuda a investigar a los otros que también sus familias no han regresado a la casa hoy. Entonces, por favor, voy a repetir el número de una vez más. Es 626-217-0842. Por si ustedes saben o tienen información sobre un jornalero que fue detenido hoy o desde que empezó las redadas para nosotros poder encontrarlos el apoyo. Porque lo que está pasando en los centros de detenciones, solo pueden estar ahí tanto tiempo y a veces por el sufrimiento no quieren seguir sufriendo y ellos mismos deciden deportarse. Entonces, lo más rápido que podemos comunicar con esta gente, lo más rápido que le podemos encontrar ayuda. Gracias.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. My name is Pablo Alvarado. I am the co-executive director of Endilan, the National Day Laborer Network. Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Pablo Alvarado y trabajo como co-director de la Red Nacional de Jornaleros y Jornaleras. hearts are broken today. Over 20 sons, grandfathers, fathers, brothers were taken from this parking lot, abducted from this parking lot this morning. These are members of our community, and we love them. Isn't that right? For some reason that we all know, the president has made every Home Depot a trap for immigrants. A trap where ICE agents or bounty hunters, whomever they are using to abduct people who make all of these neighborhoods around North Hollywood beautiful. By the way, it's the very same people that's rebuilding Los Angeles, because it's impossible to rebuild this city without migrant labor, and that is a fact. And that is a power that we have. But also this corporation that benefits from migrant labor hasn't taken a stand. This multinational corporation, which has so much power, hasn't said anything. And it's that having the laborers, it's so convenient for their business model. Contractors, subcontractors, homeowners, the idea of do-it-yourself takes life only because the day laborers are here. People come in, they buy their materials, and they pick up their worker, and they go to do the work. That's capitalism. That has to do with Home Depot's model of doing business. And yet, they haven't come forward to say anything. We've heard stories, because in the last couple of weeks, there have been raids in Paramount, in Hollywood, in San Bernardino, in Cypress Park, and today here in the beautiful community of North Hollywood. And they still haven't said anything. But there's one story that is popping up, and that is that in Hollywood, the store in Hollywood, the store manager actually locked down the store while the bounty hunters, while the kidnappers were in the parking lot, and they couldn't get into the store because they were protecting their customers. And they have the right to refuse entrance to who many they want. So they don't have to allow the kidnappers, the bounty hunters, or ICE agents, whomever they are, because we don't know, because they're masked. They could easily deny access to these individuals, but they're not doing it. So we as a community have to demand it. We all have to demand it. And I am so grateful, and I assure all of the brothers and sisters who come here to this Home Depot to bear witness of the cruelty. I assure you that everyday laborer here appreciates you and loves you very much. Your presence here makes them safer. So, but we have to bring more people. We have to expand. And everyone is welcome. Because no one should be okay with what is happening. No one. If people believe that what's happening is just about immigrants, undocumented people, well, they are wrong. because what they're doing here, they're not respecting the rule of law. These are unlawful operations, unlawful detentions, just snatching people and putting them in the vans and leaving. Those are abductions, kidnappings, and we got to call them by the right name, and that is what it is. And yes, they have their badges, and they have the power of their guns and the power of the repressive institutions. But we, if you look around, we have the power of the people. And just look around. I mean, this gathering we organized this. I mean, the Adopt a Corner team here organized this vigil in what? In 3 hours. Which means that if we get better organized, we can do better. And today, let's think of it as the beginning of that struggle. Today, this struggle to protect our people is barely starting. I can tell you that the way immigrants feel in this country, it's fully abandoned. The political class in Washington, D.C., with obviously a few exceptions, has abandoned immigrants. Businesses, the business community has abandoned their workforce. They are willing to take migrant labor, to benefit from migrant labor, but they are not willing to accept their humanity and protect their rights. They are not speaking out. So at the end of the day, we only have each other. And that's why what we're doing today is very important, because we cannot let these kinds of practices be normalized. I don't want that. So every time that there's something, a cruelty like this morning's cruelty happened, we have to mobilize. We have to be out there and calling it for what it is. It's cruelty. It's abuse of power. And if we don't use our words, if we don't come out and use our freedom of expression, then we're conceding what they want. Because as I said, it's not about immigrants. It's about protecting the right to due process. It's about everyone. Today is immigrants, but the question is who's next? That's the question. And if we want to protect, I know everybody's talking about democracy, we have to save democracy. Democracy can only be saved if you protect the most vulnerable members of our society. And in this moment, it's immigrants. In this moment, and not just any kind of immigrants, and I want to make sure that we understand that. It's indigenous people who come from Central America and Mexico. Humble people, the most humble among us. That's why we need to stand up for them, and with them, and for them, together. Are we down? So we want to issue very clear demands to this multinational corporation, because this is a multinational corporation. And by the way, they're opening stores in Mexico and in South America. And we haven't yet communicated with our friends in the South. But the time will come. So the first demand is this store, when this administration began talking about the tariffs, the CEO of Home Depot, they called the president. That's the kind of power that they have. They can do that. They can issue a public condemnation of this type of practice, because today, according to the stores, the testimonies that we've heard, the majority of the people that they took weren't they laborers. It was customers of Home Depot. So they are going after their customers. So we demand that they issue a public condemnation. Keep people safe. When ICE is conducting a Home Depot raid, store managers should close the doors. Let me tell you this. Every store decides how to respond to this type of attacks differently based on what's in the heart of the store manager. I've seen it all over the country, depending on whether, because we've had instances in which you've had racist store managers, and that's the way they operate. But you have also store managers who are very open and work with the day laborers, and there are places where the management and the day laborers have come together, and they have designated an area within Home Depot for the workers to gather because they know it's good for them, it's good for their business. So they have to have a consistent policy, and that policy should be lock it down, don't let them in. Set clear rules, so hoping that they issue consistent policy and protocols across the country. Home Depot has a right to lock down stores and deny access to any potential federal agents or bounty hunters unless they present a judicial warrant. Unless they do that, they're not obliged to let them in. So we ask them that they do that. Very simple. Another simple thing for Home Depot to do, so that we all know the truth, because we all shop here. I've come here to shop. Who else comes here to shop? Raise your hand. So we're all customers of this place. So we deserve to know the truth of what happened. They have video footage of every raid that has taken place. Well, release it, make it public so that people can see what these bounty hunters are doing. So obviously they are not going to do that unless we keep on fighting and unless we keep a permanent presence in front of their stores. Home Depot's slogan is, I'm going to close it with this, Home Depot's slogan is, how doers get more done. So to me, a more accurate slogan would be, in this time, how ICE meets its quotas. That should be their slogan right now. We understand Home Depot didn't ask to be ground zero for the mass deportation campaign, but now it is ground zero for it. And it has become a hub for injustice, cruelty, and violence. And the only question that needs answering now is, what will Home Depot do to assist our communities to stop the violence? So we know what we're going to do, right? We're going to keep bearing witness to what happens here. That means that you bring your cell phone. That means that when they're here, you record them. Because public opinion is changing about immigration, and the only reason it's changing is because you, with your cell phones, are showing the country its ugly side. People are seeing the cruelty of immigration enforcement. So let's keep doing it. Let's not stop. Obviously, let's do it lawfully, safely, peacefully, because we can. Because that's the kind of people we are, aren't we? Peaceful people. And what moves us is love and solidarity. It's not pity, okay? Because you don't pity the men who stand here every day to look for work. Because the men who stand here every day defy every act of the sun, the rain. Some get paid. They don't know if they're going to be taken to a workplace. And that's why when we come to accompany them, we don't come here out of pity. We come here because we love them and because we stand in solidarity with them. Can we do it that way? Eso le voy a decir, porque sé que hay unos jornaleros acá presentes. Quiero decirles de que van a estar viniendo miembros de la comunidad a estar acompañándolos acá para asegurarse de que se documenta la crueldad. Quiero decirle a los jornaleros que están acá que les den la bienvenida, que les den el respeto que se merecen, porque están dedicando tiempo de sus vidas para poder estar acá y ser testigos de la crueldad que nuestra comunidad está atravesando. Quiero decirles también, quiero pedirles que si conocen los familiares de las personas que fueron detenidas esta mañana, que nos hagan saber, para que de esa manera nosotros podamos comunicarnos con sus seres queridos y ver si podemos encontrar asistencia legal, ayudar a las familias, porque sabemos que muchas veces a quienes se llevan son los que proveen a la familia. Entonces, por favor, ayúdenos a identificar a esas personas que se llevaron. Sé que tenemos algunos nombres, pero no tenemos a todos. Entonces, muchas gracias por hacer acto de presencia.